Stained glass is amazing, but let's be real. It can be painfully slow, especially when you're chasing tiny bits of glass across your bench or struggling to get the perfect fit. After years of working in stained glass, I have found some tools that seriously speed things up. Some of these are clever little add-ons and others are full systems. But all of them have saved me time and some frustrations too. Today, I'm counting down my top 7 favorite time-saving tools, so let's get to it. Ever try to grind a tiny piece of glass while holding on to that slippery little sucker? And then there's the part about not cutting yourself and trying to keep some semblance of a fingernail while you're at it. Nick Grinder's Mate is a little blue clamp that holds small pieces firmly at the grinder so you don't have to. It's my newest studio addition and I'm honestly a little infatuated. No more awkward finger repositioning every 5 seconds, no more chasing sharp bits that got yanked out of my grip and launched across the bench. This tool keeps everything steady so I can just grind and move on. I use this system to create straight edges for panels, and it's brilliant for keeping everything lined up during both grinding and soldering. At the grinding stage, it holds your border tight to the pattern, which helps ensure your fits are accurate. And if you leave it in place for soldering, your edges stay lined up, so you don't have to waste time repositioning or adjusting pieces that shifted on you. This layout system lets me square things up easily and avoid that whole complicated mess. It's simple, but it avoids a ton of sneaky time wasters. And here's a great bonus. The pins that come with the system have metal heads. That means you can actually use them to hold freeform sun catchers in place even without the metal rails. When I started out, I didn't have this, so I used regular plastic push pins. And one day I accidentally touched one with my soldering iron. It instantly melted and the smell was awful. Definitely one of those never again moments. With these pins, that's not something you have to worry about. This one takes a bit of learning, but once you've got the hang of it, it's a serious time-saving machine. It lets you cut strips, precise angles right down to the degree, and repeatable shapes like diamonds with way more precision and speed. It's fantastic for geometric patterns or production style work where consistency really matters. Think snowflakes or honeycomb. But there's a catch. This system doesn't work on its own. The tools are actually designed to fit into a specific cutting surface, and that surface is up next. Once you have them together, you're unstoppable. This cutting surface is genius. Tiny chips of glass fall into the waffle grid instead of sitting on your table surface and interfering with your next cut, or worse, embedding themselves in the side of your hand. No more stopping to sweep every few minutes or getting a surprise shard under your work. It also pairs perfectly with the portable glass shop, which we just spoke about. You'll want to label the grid to help with consistent placement, but once you've done that, you're golden. And here's the kicker. With this setup, you don't even need a strip cutter. It's that efficient. This tool actually includes 2 separate breakers, both of which are surprisingly fun to use. First, the basic rectangular piece replaces your running pliers. It flexes in the middle. You just place it on top of your score line with your finger directly underneath. A gentle squeeze and snap. The glass breaks cleanly. It even works on narrow pieces. It's oddly satisfying, honestly. Now the second part is a total game changer for deep inside curves. Here's the very first piece that I tried it on. Look at this. I couldn't believe that it kept both pieces completely intact. Instead of slowly chipping away with grazing pliers, the safety brake uses a little pop-out button that fits into the waffle grid. You start the brake at both ends, then position the deepest part of the score over the button. Use the tool just like before, but this time, the button acts like your supporting finger underneath. If it doesn't release all at once, you can move out to each side a bit and release it in stages. This has saved me so much time and glass, and it's way less nerve-wracking than the old nibble away method. This one might seem basic, but once I started using it, I just couldn't go back. Before, I just had my foil roll sitting flat on the table. It would twist, unravel, and sometimes get caught up in things. Now, with a dispenser, the foil stays in place and feeds smoothly. I can see exactly where I'm placing it, which cuts down on fiddling around with having to coil it back up and undo kinks. Foiling is faster, cleaner, and just plain easier. Finding the right cutter can make or break your experience with this craft, and this tool literally saved my hands. I have thoracic outlet syndrome, which means that I deal with nerve and muscle issues in my neck, shoulder, arm, and hand. I can't hold fine tools tightly for long, and that made cutting very difficult. I started with a brass pencil cutter, but I didn't have the grip strength to hold it properly. The pistol grip felt clunky and hard to control. I even tried modifying my grip on a pencil cutter, but the tool was so thin that my fingernails would dig into my palm. Then I found the Toyo grip. It was a huge improvement. It fit neatly in my hand and was easy to grip. But after longer cutting sessions, the U-shaped piece would dig into my hand and I found it quite uncomfortable. And then I found this. The Toyo Custom Grip Supercutter. It's a bit bigger with a smooth rounded paddle that rests perfectly in my palm. What's great about this cutter is that you can actually configure it 4 different ways to fit your hand. Here's a quick look at each setup. It also uses Toyo's tap wheel technology, a tiny spring inside the head that gently taps the score as you move. It helps the score penetrate the glass surface more consistently, giving you cleaner, more reliable breaks. I definitely noticed a difference when that feature came out. If cutting is a step that slows you down most, I get it. That's why I created my Cutting Stained Glass Made Easy course. Not just to show you how to hold a cutter or make a score, but to explain the why behind it all. Understanding how glass behaves and why certain techniques work helps you predict outcomes, adjust on the fly, and solve problems when things go sideways. That's the way I learn best, and it's how I teach too. So if you're ready to cut with more confidence and less second guessing, I've linked the course below. So those are my top 7 time-saving tools, and each one has earned a permanent spot on my workbench. Some are small, and some are more of a system, but all of them help me spend less time fixing problems and more time actually creating. I'd love to hear yours. What's one tool or trick that made your stained glass process faster or smoother? Drop it in the comments. And next time, I'll be putting some of these tools to work on a project that I'll be making. It has fins, and we'll be using just a touch of wire overlay as well. And again, if cutting is your bottleneck, I've linked my beginner-friendly course below. It's made for hobbyists just like you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.